Howdy ho there, Yugi Tubers. It's your friendly neighborhood MCO40, and I want some food. So what's up, guys? I want to talk a little bit more about this ban list. Give, well, some more on my initial, thoughts. That's what you guys are here for. That's why I enjoy doing these nice little, I guess we'll call them vlogs. They're just me putting my phone on my dashboard and talking to it. So, anyway, let's talk about Monster Reborn. So, my friend actually sent a video of Monster Reborn to our group chat for locals. He was talking this was like fucking years ago, last time Monster Reborn was legal. He was talking about like how degenerate Monster Reborn is, how he didn't understand like why the card was even legal, and like you had to remember back in the day, Monster Reborn was a very, very, very fucking asshole-ish card. Like it was literally so fucking bad that I didn't even want to deal with it. I mean, like, I enjoyed Monster Reborn because of the sack factor about as much as I enjoyed reborning a gadget with Redux. Like, one thing leads to another type of thing. So, definitely, I'm glad to see Monster Reborn back. I'm more excited to see Judgment back, but that's a point for in a minute or so here. So, but Monster Reborn's return to the game. I mean, we're in an era where pendulums are a little bit more predominant, and I'm not gonna say that like I don't know if I want to main deck Monster Reborn, but looking at some of the OCG lists, a lot of those lists don't play Monster Reborn, and it's kind of shocking. Which leads me into my next session about Pendulum Magicians. So Pendulum Magicians, everyone in the TCG thinks, oh my god, the deck is dead, like they're running around with chickens like their head cut off. Electromites are still holding value. Alright, which is fine. And the OCG only had one Scrollcrobat Joker. Did anybody not realize that? Like, the combos and the plays that the deck can still do, okay, cool, you lost double Iris Magician. Now your Electromite play is a little bit more fair. You know, like, whatever you're killing isn't gonna, you know, destroy your opponent. I thought that was a pretty fair trade-off, you know. The TCG handled preemptive hits on Pendulum Magician very nicely. And I know a lot of people are absolutely pissed. Well, it's funny because they're pissed, and it's funny because half of the community's mad. But the deck was budget in the first place. Let's be real here. You know, the only real reason that I think you should have been mad was the fact that A, it was a budget deck, and you can't afford Electromite, or B, you spent money on Electromites, and you're mad about that. So, those are the two things that I personally will think people have the right to be mad about. But anything outside of that is fine. Spiral players knew what was coming for them. They signed their death warrant when they kept the deck. It's kind of funny. Like, you knew you were going to lose money on the Spiral deck as soon as they revealed the OCG ban list. And you saw that Resort went to 1 as well. Now, there are a few people right now that a friend of mine is talking about wanting to continue to play Spirals going into next format. I think that the format is a little bit degenerate enough that you might get away with it, and Sleepy Boy is still pretty good. Sleeper is by far one of the most ridiculous Yu-Gi-Oh cards I've ever seen in the game. Being able to create an indestructible boss monster at will, aka Aquila 4 Towers 2.0, it's not bad, but achieving that 3 monster limit with only 1 field spell might be a little bit harder because, you know, you can't master play and search for field spell anymore, so your deck has to do some other things. But, you know, getting 2 monsters on the field, it's not such an incredibly terrible thing. But the path that you have to go down to achieve said result, it might not be as consistent. It's definitely not as consistent. That's for fucking sure. So, my 2 cents there. You know, people are going to try to make Spirals work, you know. I'm gonna do an actual like deck discussion on some of this shit, but like these are just some of my memoirs, we're going to call it. Next up, Solemn Judgment. Who let you out? So I love Judgment as a card. I think Judgment is a card that, if you don't know how to play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, is going to punish you. And it's a very unique card in its cost. Even at 1 life point, Judgment is live. Contrary to popular belief, Judgment has a ruling with it, and I believe Yu-Gi-Oh! In general has a ruling with it, that if you go into decimals for life point value, you round up. So if I would go from 25 down to 50, which is 12.5, you round up to 13. Trust me, triple solemn judgment formats, they're definitely a very, very weird beast in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, Taco Bell. This is a new one. You guys don't get this one very often. This is the Robbie wants those nacho fries because they're amazing. This is Road 12. They're like, we're out of nacho fries. Thanks for coming. I'm calling it now. Hit me with it. Okay. Thank you. What do we want? The nacho supreme fries? The nacho Bel Grande fries? I think we're gonna go with the vanilla fries. I'm feeling that a little bit better today, actually.
Today.
All right. Can I get the or 3 orders of the nacho fries?
Okay. Anything else?
No, that'll be it.
Okay. Any sausage, drinks, or desserts for you today?
No.
214 things.
All right. 214 on 3 orders. Okay. Y'all act like 3 orders of these dollar fries is gonna be that much for a fat man like me, because it ain't gonna be, that's for sure. Anywho, back on the topic of Judgment though, having a card exist like this, I thought Judgment was only going to exist with an inherent board wipe. Typically back row wipes like Feather Duster and Heavy Storm have only really existed during the time of Judgment. But I guess having Judgment return in a format where Trick Stars are a deck, definitely, well, you're not gonna try to Judgment anything they really do. We'll leave it at that. Honestly, if you cut your life points from 8,000 down to 4,000, with Trickster being a meta-relevant deck, like, you're gonna get yourself into quite the situation. We're gonna call it that there. You're going into a format where Reincarnation still exists at 3. I don't know what Konami was thinking there, but the reality of the situation is Pendulum Magician, literally your Trickstar engine, these are your 2 most predominant decks. And then you've got everyone in the corner that thinks Draco is going to make its advent and return to the playing field. You know, there's a reason why Card of Demises have been disappearing from the market. You know, it's a great, spectacular engine to assist out these decks. You know, Paleo and Draco, you know, they've been on the backseat burner of last format. You know, they were taking regional wins. And, you know, I'm even going to throw Mech Knights into that equation. All 3 of these decks seem like they can do something. You know, Masterpiece, more so now than ever, gets the chance to return to the metagame. And, you know, the Draco engine still is very badly hit. Like, it's still walking on its last 2 legs. And then, you know, I've been hearing a lot of people talking about dinosaurs as well. You know, don't discount dinosaurs and think that they're extinct because they have a few hits on the list. I'm definitely liking the way that Konami's been approaching these lists. They're, at least North America. North America's making it so that these decks, they're less broken and more balanced as opposed to like their counterparts. You know, Konami America's trying to make things seem a little bit more fair, and I'm kind of starting to like that about our side of the game as opposed to some of the other, or yeah, opposed to the other side, Japan. You know, like Japan's massively degenerate. Literally, when this list went into effect, the first thing that I heard from a lot of people was like, wow, when did the TCG decide to go to the OCG? I think it's actually to the contrary to the popular belief. You know, we did go OCG, but like we kept a lot of the things that made us us, and it was nice to see Judgment freed off of the list, just as like that nostalgia hit. But I don't think that we're gonna ever get any more than one Judgment. Judgment is that free hit for counter fairies. It's like, you know, like, you guys haven't done anything, so here's Judgment. And then even with Judgment, I don't think counter fairies, it's really gonna do anything. You know, Inspect Borders now a card. I think Stun is going to be an excellent choice for a deck. And the reason I say that is if you control the board and set up a good situation, you'll find yourself in a very advantageous position. And then what's the other hidden, the hidden gem of the format? I think Burning Abyss is there, and it's waiting. I saw John Moore make a post talking about 3 Torrential Tribute. Yeah, 3 Torrential Tribute. That's another interesting one. I just remember when we were bitching about board wipes, and then we were like, "Oh fuck, we don't have any." Now we have 3 Torrential Tribute. That was a hit that didn't even go from 1 to 2. It went straight to 3. And with Burning Abyss, like, oh my god, just the massive floating. You know, like, traps have been losing a lot of their flavor, but like, whew, you brought back the best ones. You know, like, why is okay, so my next question is, why is Compulse still 1 if Torrential's a 3? But, you know, it's Degenerate, Bottomless is a 3 too, so there were a lot of nice things that came off of this list for anti-meta. A lot. And I didn't think I would live to see this day. But there's no real point in keeping these things locked up if they're not going to do anything. You know, next off, just move Compulse and Book of Moon off the list. That'd be great, thanks. So, just some little ranting here. But yeah, the format, the initial hype behind the format, as we're going into week 1, it's very real. And for that, we thank you, Konami. So guys, what do you think? Leave a comment down below. Share your thoughts on the beautiful new format. And I'm out, guys. Deucerinos.